Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. First of all, I'm sorry for the huge delay between the videos, as it's been a month or two since I've last made video. I'm so sorry. But before I start today, I want to tell you why I chose the topic. Why do photons fall into a black hole if they don't have a mass? Well, I chose it because, it was a frequently asked question from where I found it. I was attending a forum from HC Verma. It was an online course. The name was Sharp. So, uh, when the lecture was the course ended, I used to go to the forum, and I used to try to answer as many physics questions as I could if I knew what the answer would be. And most of them turned out to be this question. I mean, why do photons fall into a black hole if they don't have mass? And to people who are wondering why this is connected to gravity, why do they fall? Because of course a black hole is so dense that even light sucks it in. This is the most, the common factor we know about black holes. So why? First of all, in the equation of gravity, there's a particular value of mass. Okay, so if the value of mass turns out to be 0, then hence the whole equation turns out to be 0, and what we find is that there should be no gravitational forces on photons. And since there is no gravitational forces between photons, other things shouldn't be able to attract them. That's the ideology. But in the case of black holes, they still suck them up. Like they have powerful gravity. Okay, and photons do have mass, but it's very negligible. So don't people take it as almost 0. But the thing is, it's not about gravity being a force, just a force, but according to Einstein's general theory of relativity, in which he described the new definition of gravity, which is that any object which has mass warps space and time. I'm going to show a quick picture of, I've just drawn diagrams, I'm sorry, but this is the most I can do. I actually quit Paint app because it wasn't suiting me, and I came to this plain notebook. So bear with me, please. So here you see that the sun. Okay, so right now in here you can see this is space-time. This is a space-time fabric. If you want to use this term, I would just use fabric. Okay, so let me just start from Einstein's theory of relativity. He said that any object, for example, let's just take a bean. Even this bean has a gravitational force because it has mass, and because of this mass it is bending the space-time fabric beside it, around it, but we can't see it. Even we can't see it around our own bodies. Why? Because, well, the mass and it's the value is too low. Okay, it's comes into the 10 to the power minus number. I'm sorry, I don't have the particular values. I'm a little unprepared, but please, I'm just going to give you a quick go through of this question. I don't want to come into numbers so that you guys get a little confused. If most of you were hoping that I would go with numbers, I'm sorry, but most of them want to just know the quick ideology. The rest they can know themselves. They know themselves since they know the equations. So sorry for the sorry for the slant handwriting. Okay, so it's almost negligible that we can't see it. Even my finger right now, it's bending space-time around it, but I can't see it because it's the value and the warp is very, very low. It's minuscule. Even under a microscope you won't be able to see it, or we would have known if you saw it. So but it only occurs around large bodies. Since general theory of relativity is related to large bodies, does that make sense? So for an example, I would take the sun because it has a relatively large mass, and so let's continue with this. That's why I draw a diagram of sun. If you look at the sun, it's like sort of an invisible thing. We can't look at the orb directly. We need to have something that helps us analyze it. For example, light. Okay, I'm going to come to that very soon. Sorry if the screen is shaking so much. I'm just actually holding it from my hand. I don't have a stand yet. So the sun has a large mass that we know, and it's also known that Einstein proved his theory of relativity by analyzing the sun's warping angle, and that's true. So what I want to tell you about is, for example, let's take a pathway. I'm going to turn out the page. Okay, let's suppose you are jogging. Suppose you are in open space. There's nothing else in front of you but just a jogging track. This right here is the jogging track. You're standing right here, and what do is you run around it. But why around it? Why can't you just go straight? Because straight, there is nothing straight here. What your common sense tells you is just go around it. So you keep going around, and what happens is that the same thing happens here in the sun. So suppose a photon and is, let's say, ejected by the sun. As it is the sun, it is giving us light and the radiation here and there. Sorry for the poor terminology. Suppose the photon enters the field or comes out of this field, it will be a little deviated because everything must follow the space-time path. Okay, if you're going straight, in a road, and but suddenly there comes a point where you have to take a turn. You take a turn, you don't just go through it, right? That's way out of the law. That's not the law we follow, right? You don't crash into things. So what happens is the photon follows the path. It follows the warping path, and then when the time comes, it just either it releases if its escape power is velocity is too much, and it breaks through from the warping path, or it comes into orbit and stays in the orbit. For example, the moon or the planet itself. The sun has such a warping power that the planets, let's suppose these are the planets, not to scale obviously, they are in orbit with the sun mainly because of this warping angle. They are in such an orbit that they can't escape it. They don't have such velocity yet, or they will never have the velocity, since they need to have a push, and you can't push the earth just like that. So they will go through it. They will, not go through it. They will follow an elliptical path or whatever path or the angle they are following. That's why they are in orbit, because the warping is not letting them leave. So the common example most of them take is of a trampoline. If you put a ball on a trampoline, what happens is that the trampoline curves around the ball. The same thing is happening with the sun. So that may help you visualize it. So what happens with the black hole then? Okay, so we all know, and if I want to clarify things for some new people in physics, is that a black hole has a very huge or dense amount of mass. Really dense. It's almost infinite. And why is that? That's because planets or stars with 3 times the solar masses. Solar means according to our sun. If our sun is 1, they should have 3 times that mass of that of sun. If they collapse, they continue collapsing under the pressure, and even the atoms are crushed. Suppose these are the atoms, and they keep going in, and they have become denser and denser, and it comes into a stop where it becomes a singularity. This is a singularity, space-time singularity. So, this happens, and because of this, the warping, can you imagine, the higher the mass, the more the warping power is the concept. So can you imagine, almost infinite mass must mean that it must almost infinitely bend the space time, and such a thing really happens. And because of this, it is theorized, not of course not known as practical, but theorized, that time and space comes to a stop in singularity. Hence physics laws don't work in here. We don't know what's in here. So yes, now let's come back to photons. What happens? So the same thing that I applied in the concept of the sun happens here. The photons, the warping power here is so great that the photons, if they come near it or they angle near it, the light just doesn't go around avoiding obstacles. It goes through, or it just, sorry, I'm sorry for the scribbling. I'm really sorry. Either, suppose here is, there is a board and there is a torch in here. This is a torch, very rough drawing, very bad drawing, I know, and it is shining a light. So there are photons coming out of it, and rays, groups, whatever, we'll take it, huh? So they don't just go around and go through around this obstacle. They don't do that. They either they get blocked completely, or if some of them escapes, it escapes completely and goes into its own path. It goes in straight lines, right? Light goes in straight lines, so it doesn't avoid the black hole. If it's coming towards the black hole, it gets warped and it continues spiraling down towards the black hole or the singularity. So yes, this is what I wanted to tell you. Why do photons fall into a black hole if they don't have mass? Well, it's not related to mass. It may be in the gravitational equation, but due to the general theory of relativity, or the warping of space and time concept, we now know that this bends, and when the space-time bends, and when the space-time bends, the photons aren't allowed to escape. So, and they don't, and of course they don't have the escape velocity to escape it, or they would, in which happened in this case in the sun. If they have enough escape velocity to get released from the space-time deviation path, and they go out in outward direction towards the sun, towards other stars, and till where it could reach. I'm sorry for this bad handwriting and all this scribbling, but to give you a rough approximation of what I'm saying is, I'm going to just compile it into some points right now. It's that, well, due to the general theory of relativity, mass bends space and time. So if I have a cube of matter here, it's bending space and time. Well, it's negligible. We can't see it because, well, the value is very low. It's very minuscule. Even microscopes cannot see it through it. Hence we don't know. But due to Einstein's proof, and he proved it by using the sun, because sun has a considerable amount of mass, and because of it the space-time bends, and it can be seen. Not literally seen. You need to have some X-rays and other analyzing devices to see how it's bent, but it did, and it was proved. Hence general theory of relativity was proved during an eclipse. So what I want to tell you is that a black hole has an almost infinite amount of mass. That's true, yes. So what happens is that the more the mass, the more warping power. Hence it warps the space so much that nothing escapes it. Nothing escapes its warping. So even if a photon just tries to go in here, it will get stuck into the warp and continue spiraling down, or just be at the event horizon. Well, of course not in the event horizon, but it vanishes very soon because of the energy it takes it wants just to release from this path. So that's it for the video, guys. I'm sorry for this poor handwriting and the poor diagrams, but I wanted to tell you how an approximation, and just so you can visualize what happens when when a situation like this occurs. I mean, this is a question which is asked by you people. So thank you, and if you liked the video, go ahead and press that like button, if you want to look into much into such videos, because I'll be making them, I will be trying to make them as soon as possible, and the exam is nearing, so I'm sorry if it is not in such frequent basis, but I will try to make it possible as daily as possible. And if you want to check out such videos more, go ahead and check out my previous videos, which were also on black holes, but maybe a better handwriting because it was used on computer paint app, which I'm not going to use nowadays, but just for the fact. And thank you. Just thank you, and again, sorry for the delay between the videos. I'm really sorry, but if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe down below.